hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand on the trigger. Devil in a red dress. Call 911, I'm a killer. You know I hate to confess. Bang, bang, got my hand. Call
What is up, everyone? This is Antonio, and this is Rossonari TV. Roy is with me. What's going on, Roy?
How are you doing, sir?
Good, man. Good. I've been busy, but I watched the draw today, and we're gonna react to it, and it seems very, very interesting.
To say the least.
Yeah, let's just say that the amount of storylines in this draw is there's probably more storylines than like a Marvel phase of movies, I would say.
It was written by Hollywood.
Yeah, this to me smells like a rigged draw. I'm just gonna say it
It
right.
is. It is.
It's a
It's
rigged draw,
scripted by Steven Spielberg scripted this draw.
100%. I'm gonna let some people in. The top G is here.
Oh,
What's going on?
top G. Cornich's
Hey,
biggest fan.
Hey, what's up? You here?
yeah, but uh, I can hear you, but it makes noise. I don't know what's wrong. Hello.
Hello, we can hear you fine. We can hear you well.
Yeah, I'm happy. I love the group. At least we can have some fun. What do you want to play, Nicosia?
I wanted to play Man City, Real Madrid, and Bayern.
Uh,
Is my audio good, guys, or can you hear me well?
Yeah, we can hear you great, man.
Perfect, perfect. Okay,
yeah, there
let's
was
get
a
into
truck
it.
passing by. Sorry, but
Let's see. Let's see what the reactions are. What's up, Christian? Forza Jerry, Forza Group of Death. Um, yeah. Now we're gonna see who we are. I like this comment.
I don't think it's a bad group. What do you, PSG? They lost all the
So hold
big
on, hold on,
stars.
hold on. We can each have a turn to opine on the group. Let me just read the first chats. In death, we are all equal. I believe in Milan we can do it. I like the optimism. So we're gonna talk about Taremi. Two top rock clubs in money against level two in history. Yeah, PSG is here, so we're gonna have to play them for the first time. I don't think when was the last time we played PSG? It feels like it's been so long.
I
Origi
think it
was
was the 90s. That's
yeah,
when we
like I
played.
think we played them in like the modern era, but like 2000s.
We had Simeone.
I'm not like I'll talk about how I'm feeling about this. We need the Taremi deal ASAP. Yeah. I think this is the group of death, but it's based on the overall group. But I'll explain. Let's see. Tough group. Milan can get through. It's between us and Newcastle for second place. Dortmund got no chance. Interesting. Yeah, I am. Yeah, yeah. It's not the first time, guys. I watch PSG a lot. They are mid, very crap. Kylian Saint Germain, guys. Kylian Mbappe versus Davide Calabria. If Calabria shuts him down, then we need to have a serious conversation about
He shot the guy Schwarzschild, so why not?
That's going to be interesting. Hey, how are you, Herbert? Let's go. Non c'è nessun problema. All right. lot of excitement. A lot of excitement. Okay, guys, what's up, Zion Train? So before we get into like the Tadami news, let's just talk about the group, and we'll see the opinions. People in chat can say their opinion too. Who? I mean, I can start, or I guess one of you guys can start. But I think the top G is going to ramble on for a while, so I'll just go first. So when I was watching this, I didn't want to be in like the Group A with Man United and Bayern, and also I didn't want to be with Man City because those are like the main big possibilities for us. PSG and Dortmund. When I saw that group, I thought to myself, okay, if it's PSG and Dortmund, I'm fine with that because number one, Dortmund lost like usual, lost some key players last year, and I think we can beat them. The atmosphere of their stadium is pretty strong. So is ours, but so it's going to be tough, and it's not going to be a guaranteed. Like we've seen in the past few seasons, nothing's guaranteed. It's going to be a tough to play Dortmund, but I think we should be able to beat them. PSG, I guess, objectively are going to be called the favorites because they have a few really good players. Lucas Hernandez is on their team, brother of Teo. Donnarumma, of course, is coming back to the San Siro. A lot of other connections. So there's that. They should be the favorites, even though I don't particularly rate them too highly this year, like many other people. But I guess they will be the number one favorites. I think we can still compete with them. And I think that we can get results against them. So I'm not like scared of those two teams. Then when we got Newcastle and Sandro Tonali's return was guaranteed as the fourth pot team, that made me a little bit concerned. I mean, the group now, we have nobody that we can pick up like straightforward points against because all the teams are very good. All the teams have really good atmospheres, good stadiums. Traveling to St. James's Park is going to be hard. And they play, especially Newcastle, with a super high intensity. All these teams play attacking football, which could be good for us because we do play well against those teams. But still, we're going to have to defend really, really well. And these teams are going to be trying to hit the ball over our back line all the time, playing behind. Like they're going to be super offensive. So it's going to be a challenge, but like it should be a very entertaining group. I don't want to like make a prediction, but I would say it's extremely close between the four teams. We can get out of this group, I think, but it's going to take like very, very strong performances and a very good defense, in my opinion. So for me, it's not the worst case scenario because the worst case scenario would be if we had gone into a group with two very clear good like teams because there's two spots to advance out of the group. Here it seems like it's more of an open race and that it's possible, but we're going to have to show that we've improved in the past few seasons. So yeah, I think overall I'm fine with this group, and I think it is the group of death. And before I let you guys go, let me just look at the other groups. This group: Bayern United, Copenhagen, Galatasaray. I think Galatasaray is a very good pot 4 team. Copenhagen is a bit of an easier team. If we had got into this group, which I think mathematically eventually became impossible, that would have been not good for me. We could have gotten, I believe, the group with Feyenoord, Atletico, Lazio, and Celtic. So that it was like a 50-50 between V, E, and F, but we got this group, which is probably worse. But, I mean, it is what it is. I'm just upset about having Newcastle. They're probably the best pot 4 team, if I'm being honest. And then there's these groups down here: Barcelona, Porto, Shakhtar, Antwerp, Man City, Leipzig, Red Star, Young Boys. I mean, some of these groups are pretty easy. Inter got a relatively easy group. I mean, Benfica, Salzburg are tough teams, but they're beatable teams. Inter beat Benfica last year. They beat Salzburg in the preseason. And Sociedad is like – La Liga teams are tricky, but Inter I think is very, very well suited to beat these teams. Napoli got Real Madrid. That's pretty interesting. And Union Berlin, which is tough, but Napoli should still make it out of the group, but it's not an easy group for Napoli. And yeah, I think those are kind of just the main storylines. But I think, yeah, our group is definitely the most interesting. So we have the Tonali, Donnarumma storylines, PSG, all this stuff, connections, Dortmund ex-players, stuff like that. So it's interesting. So I guess, Roy, you want to go next? Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah. So, as far as all the other groups, I agree with what you said, so I don't need to really say much more. About our group, I don't really consider it a group of death. even though it is quite balanced, more balanced than other groups, because all of these teams are competitive. Basically, they're all teams that are top four in like the major leagues of Europe. So that therefore, well, PSG, I don't know if you want to consider France one of the major leagues, but PSG is that kind of team. I don't think this is that as intimidating as maybe some people would find it. I think this is very doable. I don't think any of these teams, aside from PSG having some amazing elements like Mbappe, I don't think any of these teams have anything really that special. So I think Milan, if Milan, plays their game correctly, they do their homework and they put in the effort. They work their ass off, especially at the San Siro. They can collect points. There's only two teams I think in Europe that are just abnormal, and that's Man City and Real Madrid. I think all the other teams are more or less the same level, nothing special. So I think our chances are good. I think our chances are good. I will say this that if we don't qualify, I would rather I would rather finish fourth. I would avoid the EL because the EL just takes away energies from the Serie A, and I really don't care. I really don't care about the Europa League. Someone else going with it. I don't want to win the Europa League. I would rather finish fourth if we don't qualify and then just focus on the Serie A. But I think we have a good chance here. I think Newcastle has just as many decent elements to win the game as we do. I don't think Dortmund has anything special that we don't. The only player here that is above everybody else is Mbappe. That's it, and that's the only difference here. The rest, I think, is
Yeah.
good. So I'm pretty optimistic about this week.
This is going to be, before I let the top G go, this is going to be a very interesting group. Like you said, it's going to be open. All the teams are going to be playing very intense, like very, very fast pace. It's going to be a good gauge to see how we are in terms of like European level. And all these teams are top European, like you said, coming from really good leagues. So yeah, it's going to be a good test. And one more thing, before this group, the draw, everybody who was making a group of death was putting Milan as the pod three team. I think that's because there's a considerable, we were considerably, the best by a good margin team from pod three. So it's understandable that whatever group we were drawn to, ended up being the group of death. But I will say that our pot four luck was a little bit poor, and I think the first two pots were, I was, like I said, was pretty manageable for us. It was just sort of that pot four that kind of locked the group, because last year we capitalized on points against Red Star. I'm sorry, not Red Star. Dinamo Zagreb. We beat them twice, and it helped with our goal difference as well. And we also beat Salzburg, and we drew Salzburg, but we lost to Chelsea twice. So this time we won't be able to beat up on a particular team in the group. So we have to be extremely consistent. And I think we can do that, but it's just a matter of whether or not we can get it done. We're going to go into some tough environments, like I said. So let's see what happens. All right, the top G. What do you think about the group?
I like.
That's very profound.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I like the group because anything can happen. Because even if you lose a game, doesn't mean another team cannot beat the other team. So of course you gotta be careful because I think because I don't think a Milan or Newcastle, which got picked fourth, I don't think they're inferior of the team before. So that's the way because every year the teams got renovated and stuff like that. So they based on the last season. So I don't think I think Newcastle maybe is the best team without. I think Milan and Newcastle the best team in the group right now, and they're third and fourth. PSG, Bissam Mbappe, who they have really? They're losing all their players. So
They have the
uh,
Messi of goalkeepers.
yeah, I forgot about that. Thank God. I hope we cross the ball because he always miss the catching the ball when he's in the air, when he's in the cross and stuff like that. And maybe Giroud can score. But listen, in this kind of situation, I don't have anything to say because I don't judge soccer based on the names of the teams or players. There's nothing that scared me. Last year we made the semifinal, and I think this year we're much better. Besides Tonali, but we're much better. So maybe
So,
last year we reached a semifinal. This year we suck. You never know. I believe we're.
all right, keep going, keep going.
What happened with Taremi? By the way, are we gonna get him or not?
We'll talk about Taremi.
No, because
No,
that's very important after you see the group. So
yeah.
Giroud got to play all these games and the Italian league. And another thing I want to know when the schedule of the game is gonna come.
They said by the latest Saturday. That's when the Champions
Because
League
I
is.
need to know when I gotta go back in Italy. So.
Okay. Anyways, before Lucas posed this question before I get to Nathan. He's pointing out other players that PSG has. They have Skriniar, Lucas Hernandez, Gonzalo Ramos, Nuno Mendes, Ashraf Hakimi, and they're coached by Luis Enrique. So, what are your thoughts on? I mean, well coached and pretty good. You know, of course they have individuals. We know that that's what PSG is.
There is nobody individual.
So none of those players, Mbappe, Hakimi, Skriniar, Gonzalo Ramos, none of those. Two of those
No,
players
no,
in
and,
Italy.
I don't see any Messi, any Maradona. I'm sorry, those are for me.
Yeah, I don't think
The
we
only
have.
players.
I don't think we have a Messi either. But yeah,
But we have Leao. It's a high level to compare. If he plays like Leao, that's a problem. If he does
is
like Inter,
PSG
he was walking on the field because he got injured. Why you play if you injured? So don't play.
is PSG getting Colomouani or isn't that like stalled or something? But they signed Gonzalo Ramos, so I wonder. I mean, they spent like 80 million on Gonzalo Ramos. That's like they're also going to spend another 80 on Colomouani. That's kind of crazy. But
But,
anyways, okay, Nathan.
by the way, we keep Kalulu. Kalulu can take
Yeah,
easily
we're keeping
Mbappe.
Kalulu. Yeah.
Kalulu can be on top of Mbappe easily.
Anyways, Nathan, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
What's up, Nathan? How have you been?
I've been good. I'm a lot better now knowing that we have the group of death.
Are you happy about that?
Yeah, because this is actually a win-win situation. Because if we get fucked up, this will show the management they're fucking retarded, and this will show other people not to be idiots when it comes to certain signings. Or if we win, then it will show that we are going in the right direction. So it's a win-win. But that's what I came on here to say.
Score.
So Nathan, oh no, he left. Okay. So yeah, let's see. What else
Why did he leave? Oh,
I don't know. He just like left as like after he said that. Forza Nathan.
yeah, he's right.
What do you want to say? There's not much to say in this situation. How do you judge a group? You don't know the injuries,
I
what's
will
going
say
to happen.
this. I'll say this. If this was like a few years ago, I'd probably be worried. But now that I've seen a few competitions, it's like it is what it is. We got players that are in their prime now, so I'm expecting them to be a bit more courageous. We've got players who have experience in the Champions League, a few Champions League winners, and we've got players who've played in World Cup finals and such and things like that. So there's no more excuses about being a young team. This is like, we are this team now. We need to go out there, and if Pioli doesn't, I mean, I wonder what the expectations are. I'm assuming that the management are saying we should get out of this group because after you invest the money that we did this summer, I think that's the expectation. So I want to see how Pioli is judged based on this.
Once they saw the group, they should get Taremi right away.
Yeah, I hope we get Taremi. I'll see what the latest is on Taremi, but
Lit Talk wants to get in.
who wants to get in?
Lit Talk.
I could post the link in the chat. Do you want me to do that or?
Yeah, send in Lit Talk. He wants to say something.
All right, let's see what I can do here. Here.
I don't. I mean, listen. All these teams play attacking football, so we know we're not playing against teams that are going to counterattack against us, that are going to close down. So it's going to be open football. This team that they built this year is a team that is more designed for open football than last year's team. So let's see. I mean, even though Nathan was being very hyperbolic, I do agree with him. It's a good test to see what kind of the players we got. Because this is going to be a boxing match. Everybody's going to have their hands down, and who hits the knockout wins. So, and I agree with with Reed also, because it's such a balanced group. A lot of these teams might, like, if you lose against one team, it might not matter that much, because I think at the end of the day, not many teams are going to have many points here. It's going to be small margins. The winner is going to be a small margin.
Yeah, it looks like, by the way, on Twitter, both Newcastle and Borussia Dortmund have tweeted, like, have added us in their tweets. So the show has begun. Let's see who else. Let's see. I'm trying to find the latest on the Taremi news.
Now, listen, guys. Listen, I'm going to be quite honest with you. Of course, I want AC Milan to beat Newcastle. Okay, of course I do. All right. Of course, I want AC Milan to beat Newcastle. But let's say for the terrible, godforsaken reason we don't beat Newcastle and they beat us, I want Tonali to score 2 goals against us in front of Furlani. Okay, and I want Furlani to hide himself in a bunker for a month if they beat us. But I don't want that to happen. Okay, I'm just letting people know. That's it.
Hey, Roy. Also, I have a question. So you said that I know the market in Italy ends September 1st, but are you sure that that is like not including September 1st? So therefore, like in what, like 5 more hours, or do you mean like basically at midnight tonight in Italy, or like what do you know about the timing?
I heard
Yeah,
8 o'clock.
it closes September 1st at I think it's 7 or 8. Yeah, that's correct.
But is that on the day of September 1st, or is it today? Like, because today is
No,
the
no,
31st.
September 1st. September 1st. Yeah.
So there's still another day for the market.
Saudi
Yeah,
Arabia,
yeah.
September 7th.
So confirmation. So you guys in the chat are saying that it is tomorrow. Okay, so at least there's some more. Because I was like, if we're not hearing anything about Taremi right now, then I guess nothing is going to happen. But if there's tomorrow, then I guess that makes it different. I don't know what is like. It looks like his agents are saying they don't, like, they want more money, and like they're changing the deal. But I think everyone here on this channel is in favor of Taremi. People online are like saying, "Oh, he's old or whatever," but he's 31, and which is like sort of the latter stage of his prime. But still, he's a player who is really
No, sorry.
dynamic.
I want to correct you there. 31 is not the latter stage of your prime.
Well,
31
he
is
would be.
literally in the middle of your prime.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the best stage for a number 9.
yeah.
Gotta be,
I don't. Yeah, fair enough.
because you gotta be mature, gotta have experience. In front of the post, the young kids they shake.
Your prime, let's say, like, you exit your prime at, then I'll be fair, like 35, maybe.
This guy has no injury. He never had injury that I know.
I guess latter. I mean, I think the prime starts at like 26, so I'd say he's entering the second half of his prime. Like on the back end of his prime. But anyways,
Hey, Giroud is 36. This guy, if he signed a 4 years contract, he's still younger than Giroud. I don't know what people want. I don't understand.
I'm sure Lucas disagrees. What's up, Lucas?
Yeah, it was good.
So, what are your thoughts on the group, man?
Yeah, we get Lukaku.
I'm happy with the group. Like, I wanted a hard group, so like I'm happy with this group. I feel like Dortmund people are hyping them too much. Like, they have a nice fan base and a nice stadium and a big club, but like on the pitch, bro, like their quality has decreased, to be honest. Newcastle. I feel like Newcastle will be really hard, but I feel like we have the experience and the better players to finish them. What I'm worried about is PSG. I feel like PSG might finish above us, to be honest, because they have Mbappe, Dembele, Gonzalo Ramos. They want Colomwani. Their midfield is stacked too. No, the midfield isn't as stacked as the rest of the team, but yeah, they have a really good squad. So I'm terrified of PSG, but I feel like we can get results against them in Milan.
Yeah, to be
Is
fair,
that,
PSG. I know we like to joke around about them, but they just absolutely destroyed Juventus last year. I know Juventus wasn't that good, but
listen to me. Can I
PSG is
say
a good team.
something? Can I say something?
Yeah,
What about we get Taremi? We got Taremi and Giroud, one substituting each other. We have Leao
I
and
mean,
Okafor on the left.
Taremi is not
We have
coming again.
Chukwueze
Taremi is not
Pulisic.
coming again.
Huh?
Taremi is off. He's not coming again.
no, it's not completely off
It's not
because
sure. It's not
there's a
sure.
deal. There's a deal between because Colombo, by the way, is about to go to Monza, which means that we're probably going to get a striker. And they're saying that the deal with Porto is good. And Tremi would like to go to Milan, but it's about the agents now. And I guess like the biggest if it's off, it would be because Milan's management is tired of negotiating with him and they're mad or whatever. But
Yeah,
I think that the agents are still like they want the deal to happen, so they're trying to like hold out for the best thing. From what I'm hearing, but it's still
can
possible.
I just? I was just saying. Let me finish. Okay, if we get Taremi. Okay, you said they have a Ramos. What about we get Giroud and Taremi? What about we have Leao? They have Mbappe. We have Leao. If Leao play like he knows how to play, he put his head on it. He's nothing less than Mbappe. Mbappe is more constant. He plays every game like that. Instead of Leao, he fall to sleep. He fall asleep. But Leao is nothing less
Yeah,
than Mbappe. So what they have
yeah,
more than us? We have
yeah.
Okafor
I
as a
agree.
substitute. We have a Pulisic and Chukwueze. Chukwueze, I don't know because didn't impress me much. I want to see this guy because he went in Italy. He thinks he can do whatever he wants, but Italy is not Spain. So I don't know. I want to
Yeah,
see.
I
Maybe
agree.
he needs to train more. Would they have
Guido,
more than
I
us?
agree.
We have
Guido,
a
I
Magari. They
agree
got
that
Donnarumma. It suck.
Guido, I agree that we have a good squad, and I think we will be able to go head to head with PSG. I feel like we will have like times in the game against PSG where we are completely just dominating them. So I see us like going head to head with PSG for the first spot in this group. I'm just giving PSG the benefit of
Listen,
the
well,
doubt
the team
right
they
now.
play, the team they usually play better soccer on all these four teams is Borussia Dortmund. Because what I'm worried, as I said, there's no Messi, there's no Maradona. The only thing that scares me is the way people play. Borussia Dortmund, they play so freaking good. So those are the
Nah,
teams you got to be
Borussia
sure.
But let
Dortmund
me
isn't
remind
good
you.
anymore, bro.
I don't
Borussia
Wait,
know.
Dortmund isn't good
I
anymore.
saw
can I
Borussia
remind?
last year against Chelsea. They look poor. Like they look like
Yeah,
Bologna.
they
They
are
look like
awful, bro.
But
They
they
play
usually play good.
Catenaccio right now.
But let me say this, guys.
No,
One thing
like
about
Didn't they
yeah, but
almost win the German league?
hey
Did they
guys,
lost the last
since
game of the season?
yeah, but they sold
since Tuchel
Bellingham
and
and
Klopp left, since
But they
Tuchel and
always
Klopp
get
left,
new
that club
players.
just
They always
digressed.
No, but
okay.
what I mean is that the way those teams play, you gotta we don't have Ronaldo, those players. We good. But it's all about
Borussia
the way the
Dortmund
team
doesn't play
plays.
good.
It's
Okay,
all
well,
about the
listen.
Borussia
way
Dortmund
you
doesn't play
play.
good.
Okay, on that note, though, PSG has Luis Enrique, who's won the treble. He's won. He was the manager of Spain just in the Euros, and Spain tactically were probably the best team in the tournament. Luis Enrique I mean, of course, with PSG, we always say they got a good coach, but
Luis Enrique went to Rome and did the shit. So
yeah, Luis Enrique, I think, is a good coach. I think let's not underestimate what PSG can do. I think PSG's problem is just when they go up against like the top teams, they're just not good enough. They're not as well drilled as a machine, like let's say Bayern, Real, City, the other teams. So that's when they lose. Like they lost to Bayern last year. They don't lose to like they're pretty good at beating teams they should beat on paper.
The problem
So-
in France, they have easy games, so they can relax in France. But that's not
Yeah.
good for training, though.
even
It's
though
not
And
good for
Guido,
training.
and Guido, Luis Enrique would have won the World Cup if his attackers were able to like finish chances. You know, if he had Mbappe in that Spain team or Dembele in that Spain team, he would have won the World Cup.
I know, but PSG is not Spain, so they don't play like Spain. They don't have the same players Spain. Maybe they don't have the attack, but they don't have the other players. So who knows?
They have the same they have the same coach and like same players kind of.
Yeah,
Asensio,
but
Fabian
PSG every
Ruiz.
year they change the coach, so that's not even
Leao
good.
and Mbappe on the same field is going to be amazing. I'm going to say that it's going to be so fun to watch. Yeah, I'm excited. I think it's fun, but at the same time, there's a risk with this group that we could be exposed and get like bantered on by everyone because there's a lot of big fan bases that are watching this game. But again, people don't care about that.
Oh yeah, for
I
sure.
kind of
For
I
sure.
kind of
that
care
can
about it, but
We need to get Taremi, man. I need Taremi, and then we talk. That guy knows how to play soccer. It's not only scoring goal. You know how many assists he makes? So he knows how to play soccer. That's what I like. Like I said about Reinders, was the only player that was impressed. And then look what happened.
hey Juido, what are your thoughts on Skriniar on PSG?
I'm going
I
to
don't
share
know.
the rosters of these teams.
Skriniar for me cannot play soccer. He's a duck. Look like a duck when he walks. For me, he's not a soccer player. So that's
Hey,
my
guys.
opinion. When Skriniar left the Inter, was sitting on a bench or whatever. Inter did much better. Look what they did. They lost the Champions League final. They won 2 cups. Skriniar wasn't even missed.
Hey
Did
guys,
somebody
by the
miss
way,
Skriniar?
breaking news: Colombo is a done deal on loan to Monza.
Yeah, they were waiting for.
So we'll see what
All right, guys.
happens.
This is the offense of PSG. Kylian Mbappe, Dembele, Asensio, Gonzalo Ramos, and Hugo Ekitike.
Oh, they got
I mean,
Asensio too.
Yeah.
But look at the Milan offense. If we get
I mean,
Taremi,
it's a decent,
if
it's
we
a
get
good offense.
Taremi.
For me, listen, the only player here that is abnormal is Mbappe. Everybody else is they're not like.
No, come
Dombele
on, bro.
before was
Dembele
doing
is,
shit.
Usman Dembele on his day can cook
but we have
anybody.
Leao. Leao is probably better than Dembele, right?
Dembele was
Yeah,
doing
but
2 years ago was
but
doing shit.
Dembele plays right wing. Leao's like left wing. So if you're comparing Mbappe to Leao, you have to compare Dembele to like Pulisic or Chukwueze.
Well, no, I'm just comparing. Sure, yeah, and I'm saying they do have the advantage. They have Mbappe advantage. That's what makes you take Mbappe out of this attack. I mean, I'm not high. I mean, come on, I'd be really worried about this attack that much.
Listen, Dombele 2 years ago was doing shit. Nothing.
No,
Zero.
Dembele, not Dembele.
Wait, Dembele, he's not the one at Barcelona?
Yeah.
He's the one who was at Barcelona. So
Yes.
what he was doing 2 years ago? Shit. Only last year he did good. So
No, he's a good player. Yeah. Hey, guys,
yeah, but 2 years ago he wasn't doing shit.
don't underestimate him. He's got speed. He's got dribble. He
Yeah,
can score.
yeah. It's all about the coach. Like we stopped Kvaratskhelia, so we got to double them up. That's what I'm worried about because we don't have really a defensive midfielder. That's the problem.
I would say let's look at their midfield. So is Verratti? I believe I thought he was going to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah,
or Qatar.
he's on the fringes of the team. He's not really playing. Actually, the coach said that he's not going to play. There's like a lot of friction.
Interesting. They said that about Mbappe too,
Yeah,
but they needed him.
That didn't last too long.
But
What do you guys
besides
think of this midfield? They got Wijnaldum, Kangli, Vitinha, Draxler, Soler, Ugarte, Fabian Ruiz.
I think that they have very like
Wow.
they have some.
I didn't
technical
remember
players.
that.
They have a lot of technical players, good players on the ball, but I think that our midfield is a lot more physical from what I'm seeing.
Wijnaldum went to PSG. I didn't know that.
I mean, so maybe they outpossess us, but I think our counter could be super, super dangerous. Also, I'm interested to see Skriniar and Lucas Hernandez are very good, but I wonder, are they playing a back 4 or a back 3? Like
A back four with Lucas Hernandez as a left
The
back,
defense is looking
Marquinhos
pretty
as
good.
the left centre back,
Oh, right.
Skriniar as the right centre back, and Hakimi as the right back.
That's a
Okay,
yeah,
the
that's a
defense
pretty
is
solid
definitely better than
defense.
ours.
Or
I
their
think this
defense is
defense,
better. I would say
yeah, for
that.
sure.
Oh man, I think
They got Donnarumma though.
But they got
Wait,
Hakimi,
do you guys
That's an
do you
open
guys
post.
actually think
Marquinhos, Skriniar, Kimpembe.
do you guys
Maybe,
actually
maybe,
think
maybe it's
Kalulu
not better.
do, do,
Maybe it's not better. Who
do you
knows?
guys
But it's
actually
pretty good.
think Kalulu do you guys actually think Kalulu can pocket Mbappe?
not
No,
pocket
nobody,
him.
no, nobody can in
No,
pocket Mbappe.
no
That's the problem.
individual.
Nobody can.
Yeah, no
Agree.
individual can.
Listen, there is only way to stop Mbappe. You gotta not make. He's like Ronaldo, the Portuguese. You
Yeah,
do
true.
not have to let him turn. If you give him the space on the field, you gotta take him on the man to man. If you don't let him turn, he don't have the skill Messi has.
Yeah, the
Mbappe
problem
is
with
like
that is you
Ronaldo, the
can't.
same shit.
But you
If he
can't
face the
contain.
post, he's gonna kill you. If he
Yeah, but
shoulder to the post, you gotta keep him shoulder to the post. So what do?
okay,
You put the one man on him. Let's say one man all
but
game.
you can't.
One
But you
man all game.
you can't expect him to
But
not be able
Pioli's
to break
stupid and not
loose
gonna do that.
throughout the
So
entire game. That's the thing. Like
yeah,
you're expecting
that's
him
what
to.
you do. Like Roy said, Mbappe is the only one, right? So you put one man on him all freaking game. Like Trapattoni stopped Pelé in Milan. I wasn't watching. It was before I was born. They say Trapattoni on Pelé all game. Pelé didn't touch a ball. You want to compare Pelé and Mbappe, please?
All right, that. Anyways, that's kind of I disagree with that because I think that in today Mbappe
No,
is very
everybody's
smart off
stoppable.
the ball.
Everybody's stoppable.
He'll be able to get free and especially on the counter attack.
Okay, is he gonna put a man on him? Is Pioli? No, Pioli's not gonna do that. So he's gonna get
But
screwed.
I want to see. Look
That's
at
what
this
I mean.
comment from Zion Train. He says Pioli is a better tactician than all of these teams' coaches. Our only problem will be the fitness of our players. I'm confident Pioli will outcoach these teams tactically. I'm 100% confident of that. Zion Train is just unapologetic
Man,
about making
Jesus.
these statements.
Zion Train is Pioli's agent. Holy shit.
Well, we need to, it's good that we have a varying mix of opinions. I don't think tactically Pioli, I disagree with that. I'd say that there's some more accomplished manager. I mean, okay, Dortmund has Eden Terzic, right? Is he still their coach? Like that guy is. I mean, they've never really. I think maybe he might have won like a super. I don't know what he's won. Maybe the cup or something. But yeah, I don't think I agree with that. I think Luis Enrique probably is. I mean, and Eddie Howe. See, Eddie Howe is not like a tactician, but he knows he's pulled the best out of the Newcastle team that he has, and he knows he makes them play a way that I guess against most teams makes them very dangerous. I mean, if they played against like a very very solid team, like let's say like an Atletico Madrid or even Real Madrid, when they have to win a game, it would be tough because they're they're kind of one dimensional. But against us, I think they have a good chance of doing really well. But I think Luis Enrique is probably the best tactician.
With the English teams, the thing you always got to worry about is that intensity. They always, they're the teams that play with the most intensity. And if you can manage that intensity, that's 80% of the job done.
Yeah, without I mean, we have Krunic at the regista, which is a really important position. Are you, Roy? I know you're like a pretty big fan of Krunic. I'm not necessarily like as big of a
Your
fan.
dad is a big fan of Krunic.
Yeah, but I mean, what do you think about that in the midfield?
Well, I don't know. Okay, I'm looking at this PSG midfield. I'm not salivating. I mean, I don't see this PSG midfield as being anything. I mean, maybe these players are really good and they still haven't shown it yet. And
No,
they still
the young talents like they haven't really developed into like great players.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm not too worried about the midfield battle. Not too worried about the midfield.
Hey,
battle.
Roy, I want to see Mbappe like I saw the game he played. Simic, the young kid. You see the way he was stay on top of the players? He was anticipating. He was always on top of the players. Who was it? Real Madrid game? He almost killed. Who was on the wing for Real Madrid? Vinicius. He was on top of him. That's what I want to see. The players like Mbappe. If you don't let him,
Brahim
turn,
Diaz.
those players you don't have to let them turn. You
Look,
gotta stay with your chest on their back. That's the only way to stop those players.
The way I see it, Guido, is when you have these players, you have to have two players that control him. One like you're saying,
They gotta
that
be on
is
top, like
that is
on
on
top.
top of it, and the other one ready to defend the space.
So you
And
tell
then
me
you,
players like Mbappe, like Leao, right? If you don't let them turn, if you don't let like Ronaldo, if you don't let them see the field toward the attacking post, they suck because they're not Messi. Messi got a dribble; he can come out through 5 players if he want. Those players don't have that. They can only
but
see the field, and they
but
burn you with the speed. You know,
but at the same
Mbappe versus Calabria is gonna kill him if he got the
but at the
space.
same time,
So,
Guido, at the same time, Guido, like a lot of teams try to close Mbappe down, and not all of
but
them are
yeah,
successful.
but do you think the coach is gonna say, okay, you're gonna stay on him all game? That's what I want to see. He's gonna be offside, so you start from the midfield line. That's where you take him. You stay on top of him. You don't let him get inside your side because first of all, you can do offside anyway. So he had to stay close to you. He cannot be over you. So at the
Yeah.
midfield line, you put a freaking line, and he said, "No, you're not moving from here. I stay on top of you, and
Okay,
then the
okay.
other players can play. Who
Listen,
cares?"
all right, let's talk about that. Let's let Gio, because Gio's here. What's up, Gio? How are you?
Not much, guys. I mean, I'm glad you guys are not scared like half of Twitter. This is Milan. What the? We not Juve. We not these low clubs that you know. Now we're gonna see if Cardinale's investment is really gonna take us to European glory. Not if we don't get out the group and we get smashed up. That's on Cardinale and fucking Furlani and Mokanda for not being able to recruit a team that could be good in Europe.
Wait,
PSG though,
how?
PSG because bro, like if these are not the team that are gonna elevate the team, then you know what way they're doing top four Scudetto. That's all I'm saying.
Wait, so
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 so let's
it's
see for the
so you
recruitment.
think us so you think us
Hmm.
going out of this group is an embarrassment?
Yeah, because I mean
But
only
how is
Mbappe.
it Cardinals' fault? How is it Cardinals' fault? Tell me.
I mean when you allow the manager to keep Krunic and you start comparing him to Casemiro. So since he's Casemiro, I'm expecting uh Krunic to like ball out. I need him to do everything. You know, I need him to clean up everything because that's where I feel our biggest liability is in Krunic. And just because a manager loves you doesn't give you an entitlement to want to stay on the team. Krunic, he has his things, his qualities, but to me, he cannot play consistent 40 to 51 a games. Or do you think he's that high quality of a player that can
No,
give us
he's
that
going to
time?
get
I,
exposed,
I don't
obviously.
I don't think Krunic is a high quality player, but blaming it on Krunic already is kind of just kind of
No, I'm not blaming him.
scapegoating, like
Casemiro.
Listen,
No,
scapegoating.
he's
Krunic and
Cas.
Casemiro are not comparable. Completely different
Because
players. Casemiro is only
No,
physical.
that's what they're
Krunic
saying.
technically 10 times
wait,
better than Casemiro.
can I finish? Can I
Hey,
Yeah.
finish? Can I
Oh,
finish?
whoa, whoa.
Can
oh,
I
oh,
finish?
oh, oh. All right.
If
Hey,
you guys want
I
to see
was
those running over, those falling, Casemiro makes so many fouls. He's protected from the referee because he
I
should be out
whatever
every game.
whatever
Every
Guido is
okay.
every
having,
foul he
I
makes.
want double.
Okay, I just want to say first of all, Casemiro is better than Krunic. He's a 5-time Champions League winner. Number two, I don't think you can already start putting or making up excuses or like making a scapegoat already because like the way you're saying it, it seems like you've already targeted a player that you're willing to make a
No, man,
scapegoat if we
man.
lose. Like
The management is telling me that Krunic is like
so
Casemiro.
so basically
So
you predicted
if
that.
he's
So
Go on.
he's
basically
open.
Management wants to
So
sell him.
basically, you predicted that we're going to lose games because of Greenwich. We're going to lose these games because of Greenwich.
No, I'm saying that if we don't advance, but I'm happy with the group. I'm not afraid. I think that we have enough quality to advance. But what I'm saying is, if we don't advance, then that means management let us down. That's all I'm saying. I
Wait! You
believe
just
in this
said
team.
you just said we have enough quality to advance. So how is it the management fault?
Lucas, he said we, in his opinion, we have enough quality to advance, but if we don't advance, then there was a breakdown somewhere, and the management is responsible for it.
No, I don't think that makes sense to be honest. If we have enough quality in the team, which the management was supposed to help in that department, then I think the management has done its job. So like,
Listen. I want to interject. For me, the issue here is not that we have all of this quality that we're Barcelona. We're Saki's Milan. It's the other teams that are nothing special. That's the way I'm looking at this. I don't think
Yeah,
I'm
we're
looking at this
gonna be good,
formation.
but I'm saying like if we get exposed, because what Kunitz is supposed to be our DM. If we get exposed by these other teams, and that's like a management not trying to like bring in an upgrade of, or it's not, or you think Kunitz is gonna be our midfielder for the next 10 years, and then he's gonna be able to do that. That's all I'm saying. I'm not
Well,
trying to scapegoat nothing. I'm not
he's
trying to
definitely going
scapegoat
to.
nothing, but
Yeah.
if somebody offers you $12 million, you take it and you go get Amrabat, which is an easy replacement. They're willing to let Amrabat go on loan to Manchester United, a club that has money. So why can't we get the same deal?
But who
Well,
says
Amrabat,
Amrabat is so freaking good? Who said that?
I think we need to also say this correctly, Gio. As far as we know, which I guess we can only speculate based on what the reports write, it's Pioli that doesn't want to sell Krunic. The management wants to sell Krunic. It's Pioli that wants to keep Krunic because he's the only guy left that knows him and knows the system and he trusts him. So I think this one in particular, I think goes more on Pioli than the management.
Hey,
yeah,
Roy.
but who kept Pioli? Management.
Hey,
Well,
Roy.
yeah, okay. I mean, you can always.
I'm-
Hey,
bring
Roy,
down-
can I say something?
I
You
mean,
know,
Pioli has been doing well, so like, I don't see
do
why
you,
they should sack Pioli.
do you know what position Krunic was playing when we bought him from Empoli or
Yeah, mezzala,
with his
mezzala,
national team? He's a freaking.
mezzala.
He's a number 10. He's a number 10.
Number
That's and
10.
now, yeah, he's a number 10. Now you gotta look. You see how technical he is.
Lord
Crunch
have
doesn't
mercy.
mean, you see the way how slow he keep the ball, and he never missed the ball. He's the only one on the team we have right now, and I want to see Adli in that position. That's I don't know. So instead of blaming the management, because the only thing they did, they sold Tonali, which I'm really pissed off. I would sell anybody else except Tonali. But beside that, I think the team is 10 times better than before, because all the players that I see, they're much better. So
Well, we'll
Krunic is the only one can play center in front of the defense because he got those 2 feet that I always talk about, and he's good with that. He got a brain. He can think. You see, with the Real Madrid the way he was playing? Nobody took the ball from him. Nobody.
Well,
So
listen.
I'm not saying
Uh,
it's the best.
Guido,
He's the best,
listen.
but it's the only
When we won the Scudetto, Krunic was the starter in those last games. Pioli decided to have Krunic.
yeah, because he's good.
He trusts him. He trusts him.
He's good. He's good.
Antonio, what do you think about this Bayern, this Dortmund team? Any? Let's talk about Dortmund a little bit.
Okay, so like I said before, they play very aggressive, and they usually like don't put in a. I'm
Oh,
gonna
what
mute,
the heck is that
who is
freaking
that?
noise, man?
Who's beating up their whatever? I think it's Lucas.
Are you cooking hot pockets, Lucas?
I'm muting Lucas until that sounds better. But I think that Dortmund, like, okay, I said before, I'm not like too worried about that. I think we can beat them. They usually do well in Europe because they're pretty well suited to like playing open games. And I mean, I want to see what their groups were last season, but I think that we should be beating Dortmund, especially at home. When I'm looking at this, I think it's going to be close to like it's going to be too close to kind of call how many points we need. Last season, I think we got around 10 because we got 6 points from Zagreb. Or no, sorry, only did we get 7? I think we got
Yeah. Guess what? They beat the Chelsea. Guess what?
Yeah, I know. 6 points from they did the first match day, but Zagreb 6 points from them, 1 point from Salzburg, and then 4 points from Salzburg. So we got 10 points. Chelsea topped the group with 12. I'd say like 8+ points is a good number, but for this group, maybe even 7 or 6 will be enough to go through. It's kind of hard to tell. But so one of the games that we need to win is Dortmund at home. Dortmund away is challenging. I think we can still do it, of course, but we should probably need to do it. But when I'm thinking about the games where we pick up points, this is a game that we need. I think is a must win.
It's not a must.
I mean, it's
It's
not a
not.
must because you can always beat the other teams, but
You'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what is gonna happen. Watch this group. You see, you'll be surprised. We're gonna beat the PSG. We're gonna lose the Borussia. Watch what is gonna happen.
yeah.
Mark this word.
So, anyways, this Dortmund team, it's not like I don't like to underestimate opponents. Always a good team, but I don't think it's too worrying. I mean, Hummels is on the older side.
Didn't they lose the German league at the last game?
Last season, yeah. But
Yeah.
anyway,
So Bayern Munich is so freaking good, and they lost the league. They didn't. They lost the league at
okay,
the last game.
yeah,
Can I-
they
can I- can I-
lost their best player in Jude Bellingham, and
Yeah.
game right now.
I
They're
see
gonna
this
find new
team
players.
as being the same level as Atalanta.
Yeah, Atalanta is a good team. They reached the semifinal a few years ago. So
Yeah, I mean,
I think
agree with that.
Atlanta is better than Borussia Dortmund.
So
Yeah,
I
I
think,
see.
like,
If the Borussia
like,
Dortmund was
this-
in Italy,
this is-
they would.
I don't
they
like
would have made.
underestimating teams.
This
I think
is-
that
this
even
is
though
the-
they don't have great players, they're still going to be hard to beat. But I think that we have to expect ourselves to beat them if we're like being.
listen, I give you a sample. Everybody was talking shit about Milan when we beat Bologna the other day, right? And then Bologna went to Juventus in their stadium and they dominate.
Yeah, but
They got stolen.
Everybody looks
Yeah.
like Barcelona against Juventus. It's Allegri. That's very.
Yeah, but what are you talking about? Juventus was doing good lately. Bologna, no.
I just want to say that this Dortmund team lost to Lazio
Every
and
game
Inter
is
in
different.
recent years.
So, guys, Sky
And-
Sport just tweeted that Milan have not given up on Taremi. They're still working to close the deal, but they're saying, I mean, that's Sky. We don't know how reliable that is. Also, some people are saying there's only 5 hours left in the window. Is that true?
No, that's tomorrow.
I think
You're
so.
wrong.
'Cause
Wait, doesn't it end like before 1st September?
is it before or is it the day?
No, 5 hours would be 11 o'clock over there.
Yeah, so it ends before 1st September.
No,
so
no,
today is
no.
the
Would
last
be
day.
no wait.
Would be-
7 and 6. No, would be 1 a.m. That's weird.
No,
5
it would be-
hours from
no,
now
it
would
would
be
be
1
it would
a.m.
be- Oh no, yeah, it would be 1 a.m. because they're 6 hours ahead. But I think that was like a little while ago. Someone tweeted, but I don't know.
Wait. But Sky, the time over there or the time here? That's what you got to see.
I think it's
And-
in India at midnight, or unless it's tomorrow.
And
guys,
also,
there's
I see
only
New-
three-
uh,
Sorry, go ahead.
and also I see Newcastle like not taking the Champions League as seriously because like they've already dropped so many points in the beginning of the Premier League season, and it seems like they don't have a chance of like going through. So I feel like they will just put all their baskets in the Premier League.
Is this our first Newcastle fan in the chat? Look at
I think
this.
so.
Amazing.
Wow.
Lab Gorilla is confident we will get 4 points. Easy.
Tonali's not gonna play against us.
Why not?
He's gonna call. He's gonna go away with his girlfriend.
Yeah. He's gonna go on holiday to
Yeah.
Sardinia.
He's gonna say he's sick. He got a stomach ache or stuff like that.
Guys,
All right,
if-
listen. I'm looking at this formation. I gotta be honest. I don't know these players very well.
yeah,
Of
I can
course,
speak on it.
I know Trippier. Okay, I know Sandro, of course. Isaac, yeah.
Botman.
Man, I guys, if we are scared of Newcastle, I mean, we should fucking quit.
Isaac is not gonna touch a ball with Chow. He's not gonna touch a ball with Chow.
They lost. to
I
10
think
men.
when it comes to the English teams, it's the intensity. If we can match their intensity, then it's fine. That's the only thing. In England, it might be a little bit more difficult, but at the San Siro, I don't think Newcastle is going to be that much of an issue. Now, it comes down to the intensity, and that's pretty much it.
Roy, the good thing you said before is the oldest team they play soccer at least, so they're not gonna be barricaded. So that's good for us because we have a midfield and offense right now that can kill. Everybody can jump the play, and everybody can go score. I think that's good for us. Then we gotta watch in the back, of course. But
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know too well this team, so whoever knows it better, you go ahead.
Yeah, I actually watched them live this summer,
But they play open, you know.
They are basically. I mean, listen. From what I liked
Alright.
watching them play live because obviously in the United States we don't have many opportunities to do that. I know it was just a friendly game, but I mean, I saw Milan play live in the past. I saw this team play live in the summer, and like they're just extremely intense. So they're in their back four. The best player is Trippier. He's very good at free kicks and crossing. Good right back. Botman is a good player. I think is a little bit overrated by Liard, I have to say, but he's a very good player. And Shar and Dan Burn are kind of like stronger players, but they're not like super top class. But they have a system. They play with a high line. Their midfield is very physical. Joel Linton and Tonali are like box to box. Gumarish is more of like a playmaker, but he also goes box to box. They're all able to go up and down. Very, very physical midfield. And they're from three. Gordon or Harvey Barnes is on the wing, left wing. Technical players, dangerous. And then Alexander Isak gets in behind all the time, and they look to play a ball over the top. And he's just extremely like fast. So that could be a problem. And Almiron is a solid right winger. I think like if you look at individual names, obviously Tonali, Isak is very good. Trippier is good. They have a solid goalkeeper as well. They have a few good individuals, but I think our individuals, like, I'm not just saying that. I'm pretty objective. Our individuals at least match up to theirs. If not, like, we could even be a bit better. I think Pulisic, Leao, and Giroud is probably a more solid attack. Or if we get Taremi, that'd be very good. I think we have Hernandez. They have Trippier. It is what it is. And I think our midfield, although they have Tonali, I think Reinders is very underrated. Loftus-Cheek will be good too. But they may have a better midfield. It depends. But it is what it is. They look to just dominate in a different way. So it's not like I think the midfield might not be the most important thing in that game, honestly, which is rare. I think it might be our defense because we have to look out for quick transition.
Anyway, let me
Antonio.
say hi to first. 1 second, please. What's up, Red Devil guys? Red Devil Studio. How you doing, my man? Thank you for being here. He is our Premier League inside man. Okay, so this is going to be a physical team, essentially. That's what you're saying. Physical.
Antonio, if we had Benacer, do you think Newcastle's midfield is still better than our midfield?
If I say it, well, no. I mean, Benacer, Reinders, and Loftus-Cheek. The thing is this: I want to be objective. The way I've seen Loftus-Cheek and Reinders play in the Serie A is very good. Now, I hope that against teams that are very, very intense, that they can still perform like that. But we haven't seen it yet. I think, for example, Loftus-Cheek, he comes from the Premier League, but he wasn't like excelling there. So, I mean, he was injured for whatever reason. So I don't want to like hype him up compared to like, these intense midfields. I want to be cautious. I think Benacer would be good, but also at the same time, Benacer might get physically overrun as well because he's not the strongest player. But yeah, I mean, I think we'd be better with Benacer. I know my dad would disagree with that.
Of course.
I mean, I disagree with the Loftus-Cheek case because like Loftus-Cheek on the Sarri was very, very good, and Loftus-Cheek Fulham was good. So Loftus-Cheek is a very good Premier League midfielder.
Yeah, I mean, fair enough. I just want to see us play. It's like we got a lot of new players. I want to see us play.
I'm not worried of any of these teams. The teams that worry me are Salernitana, are Frosinone, Sassuolo, Bologna. At 3 p.m. in the afternoon with half a stadium empty and there's no motivation and the team goes complacent and we lose points every freaking year. These games, the team is going to be super motivated. It's at night. San Siro is going to be packed. The stadium, everybody's going to be motivated. It's going to be open football. This is going to be fine.
Roy, apparently Botman is injured, and their backup is, I think, Jamal Lascelles. I think that's his name. But, Botman is their best center back, so that's interesting.
I think Botman is a good player.
Yeah, he's a good ball-playing center back. He does make a few mistakes, like every defender. But, yeah, I think this is interesting. I just want us, obviously to go and just be able to compete at their intensity. I don't want us to be overrun. By the way, there is a little bit of news. So just to confirm, Porto's board member officially said that there is an agreement between Porto and Milan, which is, contrary to what other journalists are saying, and it is all on Taremi's entourage, which we know, like they're the ones who haven't been.
So the clubs have agreed terms.
Yes, and this is what we kind of, because I think Fabrizio gets a lot of credit. I know you call him a tap-in merchant, but Fabrizio was one of the first people that in this window. Di Marzio is making a lot of mistakes, I have to say. Di Marzio and other journalists were saying, "Oh, there's still the agreement is with not reached with Porto, but this whole time it was reached with Porto. It was just like." That Taremi's entourage and some agents got involved. And Romano said, I can't reveal the whole reason, but it's on the player's side. And he said that like yesterday. So Romano was a bit clear on that. Now Di Marzio just tweeted and said that they're still pushing for Taremi. They need to make a big raise in their salary for the player and agree to the commissions. So apparently they want to raise the salary and they want agent commissions, but
I mean, if Origi is getting paid like 4 million, what can we just give him the money that he wants?
yeah, I don't know. I think that Taremi only has this option to leave Porto, so I feel like they want the deal. Like they went to Casa Milan to try to get this deal done. Like I think I don't want to jinx it. I think it will get done if it's for Taremi. If it's this is true, because the ball's in his court and he does want to come to us. It's now just a matter of him having to accept that he can't get the money that he's asking.
Okay, but listen, I want to say my opinion on this. So they're offering, according to the reports, okay, this is according, I don't know, this is what the reports, they're offering Taremi 1.5 million. But Colombo would say no to 1.5 million. What are we doing here? If you want Taremi, you can't offer him 1.5 million. Of course, there's going to be discrepancies. What are we even talking about? Krunic wants to leave the club because he doesn't want the 2.5 that they're offering. He wants 3, but whoever else is offering. Of course, they're not going to find a deal if 1.5 million is what we're offering to Remy.
I mean, those numbers could be false. I'm just saying those
but
numbers could be false. Yeah,
that's what
the issue is like George Mendes and his agents, basically.
Yeah, they need to give him like, this guy, is a serial scorer, assist man. He wins trophies in Portugal. In the Champions League, last year he had 7 goals and 2 assists in 7 games, something like that. You cannot offer him 1.5 million, man. So Taremi is going to be the least paid player in AC Milan. The guy that is probably going to score the most goals if he gets it in a goal scoring groove is going to be the guy that should pay the least. What kind of deal is this?
And also, I don't see us losing Colombo and like bringing a replacement. I feel like Colombo leaving just is an indicator that I think the deal was done for someone else or for Taremi.
Colombo's gone, my man.
Yeah, that's
The
why I
fact
think
that
we have
Colombo's gone
somebody
also
inside.
makes me think that like we should be getting this deal done for Taremi. I think if we got, I just want this to be like a really good icing on the cake for the Mercato. Like I think we all want Taremi. Lucas, what are your thoughts on Taremi? By the way, you didn't get to speak on him.
I think he is a cheaper version of Harry Kane. Harry Kane went for 100 million, 30 years old. I think Taremi is just on the same level or even better than Harry Kane, in my opinion.
That's a W take from Lucas. That's a W take.
Yeah, true.
I think he's
Like
he's extremely underrated.
he basically does everything that Harry Kane does, and he's 31, so like him asking for huge money, there's no surprise. And also he rejected Saudi Arabia, so
Yeah,
I'm
here's
not
the thing
going
about
to.
Taremi. Like, he has extremely good numbers and he's experienced, so he gives me the hope that he can become a very important immediate impact for us. Now, you don't spend 15 million and expect to sign someone who can score 20 goals guaranteed, because look at the amount of people that actually score 20 goals every year, and there's not that many. So you have to be like a bit realistic with that price tag. But it's, at the same time, the Portuguese league, I know it's a lot different and probably not as good defensively, but it's still a decent league. It's a top, I would say, maybe like seventh best league, sixth best league, probably seventh.
Okay.
But
Hold on.
so
hold on.
I think, and he's also done it in Europe as well. So for me, it's like a no-brainer. If you can get this guy this opportunity to give him a chance at a big club, like let it, I think it could work out. And especially the most important thing is to take off the workload from Giroud. So
We have some news here, information. So Pedro Pino and George Mendes have asked a very rich commission to close Mehdi Taremi to AC Milan, and a salary of 5 million a year, which kind of makes a little bit more sense. A lot, I think, but makes more sense. Until 2026 for the striker. Milan have already reached an agreement.
I was going to say
Yeah,
Nico Shira isn't that dude, to be honest.
Well, I mean,
He's in somebody that I would
listen,
blindly
this
follow.
is the information we're getting right now, and this is what we have to go by. Yeah, you take it with a grain of salt. That's fine. Anyway, and it says Milan have already reached an agreement with Porto for 50 million plus 3 million as bonuses since yesterday afternoon. So this is what we have. Whether you want to believe it or not, that's up to you. We will see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I really hope it happens. Hey, by the way, guys, like the stream. There's 72 viewers, and no one is liking the stream. That is criminal.
We have to always remind them.
Like, come on, it's free. Show some respect. But anyways, no, I want to
Well,
say.
what do you guys think of Lazio and Napoli's groups?
I was actually like, when I was going to talk about Napoli, but I think when I was watching the draw after they got Real Madrid, it's like that's probably the worst case scenario they could have gotten from pot 2. But then the third pod team, I think, that was Braga for Napoli, and the fourth pod team was Union Berlin. Union Berlin is a tough
Can I see
team.
the group? Antonio, can you scroll down?
Yes, I didn't know that I had the screen share again.
Okay, there it
Yeah.
is.
So I think Inter is extremely lucky, and I think Napoli should go through. Which the most important thing for me in these draws is like, are you clearly one of the top 2 best teams in your group? That's like the most important thing, because even if you finish second, okay, whatever, you at least get to go on and you get out of the group. So here, Napoli's situated well to get out, but Union Berlin is a pretty tough team. I think, though, if I'm being honest, they score a lot of goals, but if they were to play against Napoli, I think Napoli could drop like a 5-piece on them, just because I don't think defensively they're that good.
Napoli's another level, guys.
Napoli is just, when they get into that attacking flow, I mean, it's over. But they could be interesting. And Braga is a Portuguese team, so you never want to underestimate them, but they looked kind of bad. I mean, they had to qualify this year. I think last year I saw them play against some Italian team in the Euro.
Fiorentina.
Or the Conference League, yeah, like they were in the Conference League, so it's not looking good. So Napoli should, I guess, at the end of the day, they can get out of the group, so it's good.
I think Napoli can win this group.
Yeah, they can, but Real Madrid are going to be the heavy favorites.
Yeah, Real Madrid is the favorites, but Napoli is. Let's not pretend that Napoli is a surprise anymore. Like,
No.
It's a really good team. Napoli's a really.
I could totally see. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
And I was scared for Napoli. Maybe if they go like a team of a decent striker, but Real Madrid, I don't see any decent striker at Real Madrid right now, to be honest. So
I
I
was
think
I was
Napoli's
gonna
centre
s-
backs are safe.
I was gonna say I expect like Real Madrid to make a bid for all Seamen in the next year. Like that could be something that could happen. Okay,
200
Lazio's
million.
group. Yeah, Lazio's
Lazio's
group
gonna get
is.
I love.
For, I'm very angry with this.
No,
I agree
no
because
way.
this was the group that we were about to get into. Now, listen, Feyenoord are a good team. They won the Dutch league, fair play, but I get, it is what it is. We should be beating these teams if we were in this group. Atletico Madrid is always a tough team, but if you put Milan in this group instead of Lazio,
It's
this
easy.
is like
This group is easy.
we would be the favorites, I believe. So
Absolutely.
Lazio is in a position where right now they lost the first two league games. I don't know what, like it seems like they're kind of, even Immobile is like a little bit was throwing shade on Sarri, so they're not in a good situation. They need to get out of this group. Like Atletico Madrid, fine, they're the favorites. Feyenoord maybe the second favorites, but Lazio need to, like, they should be the ones who should be saying, okay, representing Italy, and they very well have the players to beat Feyenoord and to do better than them, I believe. So they need to be representing, like, if you're a top four team in Italy, you need to be at this standard. So I think that the fact that they're here instead of us is a little bit upsetting because they're probably not going to make it out of the group knowing their
Right, they're
history.
not going to make it. They're going to come. They're going to get their ass kicked by Celtic, by Feyenoord, It's going to be Lazio is a team that has no purpose. It is a team that should not exist. It's a team that serves no purpose to Italian football, serves no purpose to the Serie A. It just brings the Serie A down. They're going to get their ass kicked by all of these teams, and they're better. They're better than Feyenoord. They're better than Celtic. They're not better than Atletico Madrid, but they'll still get their ass kicked by Celtic and Feyenoord.
Yeah, so that's a bit painful. I kind of wish like Atalanta or someone was in this group instead, just to kind of shake things up.
I
It is
mean,
what it is.
Atalanta is also a very inconsistent team. I
Yeah, but
think
at least
I think
they play
Gasperini is done.
fearless. Though.
I think Gasperini is washed. He needs to get fired, and like someone like Sotil or Palladino should step up, or even Juric, because
I would take
because
Gasperini.
because because Atalanta have been spending money. So like I'm shocked that that team is this bad. I thought they would at least challenge for the Scudetto, but I think Gasperini's magic is gone.
Interesting. Yeah, apparently, I'm just reading that a lot of tweets are coming out. Let's see here. Atleti looking scary. Herbert Kilpin is just a warrior. Um, Lazio used to get their. I think Lazio lost to Celtic in like the Europa League a few years ago, if I remember seeing like that YouTube video. So hope maybe that happens again. But yeah, I think when the moment that we got Newcastle and not like Celtic or one of these other teams was like that was when I knew that I kind of changed my mind. I think I was really happy with PSG and Dortmund, but Newcastle just adding to that makes it very difficult. And then let's see, the other groups are what they are. Man City got probably the easiest group in the
Yeah,
draw.
yeah.
Well, actually,
They own the
Inter.
way.
I would say Inter are. I mean, Sociedad is kind of hard for a top
If
four team.
Inter screws this up, they're idiots.
So at least on the bright side, Inter and Napoli can represent Italy. I mean, I don't want Inter to go through, but at least they're in. Lazio, if they get their stuff together, which probably won't happen, could potentially do something.
No,
And then
Lazio will play well in Serie A, Edison, but in Europe they will not play. They don't take Europe seriously. They're scared. This is a team that will beat Juventus on a Sunday, and then they will put the tail between their legs against Celtic on a Wednesday.
I mean, I
Baresi
mean,
said in an interview, by the way, guys, he was interviewed and he said it could have gone better. It's a very competitive group, but Milan is Milan, and we have to think positively and compete. We have to always be ambitious and fight against good teams. So he said
I
about
mean,
Tonali. Sorry, go ahead.
Lazio made it out to the group last time they were in the Champions League. So and they beat Dortmund with Holland. So
Listen, if they get their act together, they can definitely go through for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I think they'll get it after. Like they're playing Napoli this Saturday, so like
Ooh,
I'm
nice. That's gonna be
expecting.
good.
Yeah, I'm expecting their level to like rise up. I feel like they go complacent to like the small teams. So now that they're about to face like a Napoli, I think their levels are going up.
Yeah. Chat GPT
Yeah,
statement.
I don't think Gasperini is washed. I would love to have Gasperini at Milan.
I don't agree with that, but I think
That
Gasperini's
is,
good. I think Atalanta's very like they're just more like
but
fearless when they play, which is
yeah,
good and bad. But
and it's great for Europe. They're fearless, and that's great for Europe.
yeah, I don't
Nah, come on,
understand
Roy. Come on,
Lazio.
Roy. Last season, Atalanta didn't have any European competition, and they still finished fifth. Fifth,
What? Sixth, seventh.
fifth,
They
fifth,
finished fifth.
fifth,
Sixth. What the hell is sixth?
fifth.
You're fucking killing me.
He's saying sixth, but I don't think I think I don't know his
I'm
version of
hearing
sixth. I'm
six
here.
is good for Atalanta, dude.
And that's what I'm saying. Gasperini is washed.
As much as I hate Juventus, I feel like they need to be in the Champions League, just because like.
Yeah, they would have been there instead of us.
Well, no, yeah, I know. Is what I'm saying is like Lazio is just like annoying. Like, I
Yeah.
mean, Roma, Lazio, maybe Roma with Mourinho, they would be interesting. They could do something in the Champions League and they at least make it out of the group stage. But yeah, I'm not too optimistic about this.
Ernesto, the answer to this question is yes.
What? Are
Who
you
are the?
crazy?
Yeah, I have them as my favorites. Yeah. Who is winning the Champions League, guys? Who do you think? Do you have your early favorites? I think the Champions League is much easier to predict because the strength of a team is much easier to predict. It's a sprint competition. It's not a marathon competition. There are less variables than in a league. There are less games. It's the direct games, and direct games, the better rosters usually win. Do you guys have any favorites for this year?
Obviously, Man City are the favorites. Real Madrid could do well. Maybe Barcelona. I think Barcelona have really good players, but I don't know. Xavi has to see how he coaches in the Champions League. Um, but yeah, I think Man City by far is the favorite right now.
By
Um,
far.
yeah, because they have just the best coach in the world, and they have it is what it is. They've actually won it now. They have players who've won it. They just
They're,
amazing
they're
players.
they're doing pretty good. They did pretty well in the market too. To be fair, I think they are the favorites this year. What about you, Lucas?
Man City,
Yeah,
because
man.
Bayern Munich, I don't trust Tuchel. PSG, I don't trust PSG. Real Madrid have injuries, so yeah, I'm going Man City.
And what about Milan, guys? Do we think Milan has a chance to win it?
I mean, I see us as the underdogs of the competition. I feel like if we get an easy opponent in the quarterfinals, round of 16, I see us winning it. Like if we make it to the semifinals, I see us winning the Champions League.
Yeah, and it really depends on who's available because I think last time when we played Inter, we didn't have Leao and Benacer, right?
And we also didn't have a right wing.
But I mean, as far as the starters, Leao and Benacer weren't there, which was a big miss. So it also depends on that. Milan winning the Champions League. Mm, small
And
chance,
also
very small
Inter like this is like the first season that I feel like two Italian clubs are like you know contenders for the Champions League.
Inter.
Inter and Napoli, I feel like they're contenders.
Napoli,
And
yes,
also,
I think Napoli can win it. Yeah, Napoli is a good chance. I think.
and Inter too, because like they made it to the final.
Yeah. I mean, there's always a chance. There's always miracles always happen. But I mean, obviously, the objective take here is Man City, Real Madrid are the two clear favorites, and also we got to see how Barcelona has grown after winning La Liga. We have to see how the English teams do. The other English teams do. They're always tough. Bayern is always up there. No Liverpool, thank God. No Chelsea. So yeah, I think Napoli with the way they play in Europe, it can work. If Milan maybe, but small chance. I think it's a small chance.
Yeah, tough guys, but I don't know. Um, what's going here? Milan versus Lazio round. Wait, that's impossible. PSG is not as good as people think. Only Mbappe is the top player. Without Neymar and Messi, PSG has nothing to fear. Dortmund sucks, and Newcastle can't score goals. Zion train is like just bold. Wow. Manya need to show against Paris that it's a mistake that they sold him. Yeah, PSG is crazy. Like, they had Menyon, they had Nkunku, they had so many good players. Like, I wonder why.
Oddly too.
Oh, wait, Adli,
Yeah.
Yassine. I have a feeling that he's gonna get his moment to play as the regista this year, and he's gonna do really well.
I mean, Hakan is doing well, so I don't see why he can't do well.
Hakan. Um, I mean, yeah, DiMarzio said that we need to improve our offer.
Wait, do you guys think Donnarumma is going to get booed when he comes back?
Yes,
100%.
100%. Yeah, I'm already
Yeah.
seeing it on Twitter. People are getting ready. Like,
What about Tonali?
no, he won't be getting booed because he won the Scudetto and he was sold for a lot of money. And
If
Do you
Tonali
think?
scores, Milan fans will clap.
Yeah, probably. But like, I don't want him to score like when the game scores. Like, I want him to score one like what 5-0 up. Like, I have more confidence in our team this year making it out of the group than last season. Cause like last season, bro, I wasn't impressed with Messias. I wasn't impressed with Salesmakers. But this year, bro, I'm so happy with the team.
Pulisic is
They're going
very
to
good.
whistle. They're going to whistle at him. You're going to hear the whistles. In Italy, that's what they do. They whistle. I listen. It's our third year in the Champions League now. I mean, the club now has a certain at this point. You know, we should be able to handle the pressures. And again, the teams that we're playing against, yeah, sure, we could have had an easier group, no doubt about it. But it's not like we're playing against like freaking gods. You know, it's just these are they're good teams, but they're normal teams. They're not better than us. Um, yeah, maybe PSG might have something a little bit more, but that's it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm honestly, I don't. I guess call me whatever, but I'm the team that I'm most worried about is Newcastle. I really didn't want Newcastle to be our pot four team
You're worried of why are you worried about Newcastle?
because Newcastle, when I don't know, when we are put in those environments, especially away, and when they play against teams that are super intense so far, we haven't. I don't think we've really been able to win. Like again, we haven't played many of those types of teams. I'm thinking about Liverpool, those types of games, but I feel like
I mean,
I don't know.
Salzburg was one.
Yeah, I guess Soldier was pretty intense. Newcastle, I think, is a bit more punishing though. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just those games. I mean, we drew Salzburg away. At home, we did batter them, but they looked terrible in that game. But yeah, no, just those types of games are like we. I don't know. I want to see how we handle them. I think we are more intense this year. We have good players, but yeah, it's going to be tough. Also, I just don't want to get embarrassed. Like, if Newcastle, they've been talking so much stuff about us, like saying that they own us or whatever, and like stuff.
Yeah,
It's
true, man. I really want to be Newcastle because like their fan base was talking so much trash.
I don't see the players in Newcastle being too much of a threat. Breaking news: the summit at Casamilan for Torema has ended. Updates are waited. And I want to answer Zion Train. I said this before. Obviously, I don't want Newcastle to win. Obviously, I want Milan to win. But if Newcastle does beat us, I want Tonali to score all the goals in front of Furlani. In front of Furlani and Jerry and Moncada. And I want those three to
So
cry.
so you guys still don't like the new management?
No,
well, that's Roy.
I've said
Yeah.
this from the beginning. I don't like the manager.
No, none of us want us to lose. I would love to destroy Newcastle, and I want Loftus Cheek to score all the goals. No, I'm just kidding. I just want us to win. That's it.
I
Man,
just hope I just hope none of our players get injured before the international break or after the international break.
Yeah, actually, that's a good thing you bring that up. Of course, now we're looking at these teams thinking that everybody's going to be available, but we saw against Chelsea when we did not have what 50% of the team was not available when we played Chelsea. We saw how that went. So obviously, that is going to be uh, something that we need to consider.
But I feel like we have a better B team this season.
It depends. It depends on how much playing time the B team gets. If if that happens again, in
Yeah.
theory, yes,
No.
you're right, but it depends on how match fit they are. It depends on many factors. Like a B team, you still have to play against, let's say, Newcastle's A team. You know, if our B team is better than Newcastle's A team, then we're winning the Champions League, or
I
we should
mean
be
Noah
winning.
Okafor. I mean Noah Okafor, Chakwezi. If you put Romero at left wing, that's a decent front three. The Musa, Yashin Adli, and
Yeah, but if these
Pobega.
guys But if these guys play only 15 minutes here, 30 minutes there, 20 minutes here, it's not so easy, yeah?
Roy, check your Instagram DMs. The memes are crazy.
I'm heading now, guys. Thanks for
All
having
right,
me.
Lucas.
Love.
Yeah, I think I might end the stream, guys.
All
Listen,
right. Okay. Yeah, you can end it.
yeah, listen. We don't know what's gonna happen with Taremi. Apparently, if the Mercato is open until tomorrow, yeah, I just saw this other random striker name. Um, then I don't know. Things can still happen. I thought it was gonna be done today, but I guess not.
We got
Apparently,
breaking news.
keep your eye out on the news. I think we should make one more signing, so we'll see who it is. All right, Roy. It is what it is.
Wait, hold on. Wait for Desna. He's got breaking news, and then let's close. Come on, Desna. What's the breaking news? Let's go, Desna. Let's go, Desna. Clap, 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 clap. Let's go, Desna.
Oh,
This was the breaking news. Never mind. Okay.
Yeah, I don't.
All right.
think-
Yeah, Antonio, go ahead. Do your thing, my man.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like if you can. Keep an eye out on Twitter for the news because we should find out maybe either later today or I guess leaving it for tomorrow. But I feel like there should be more news coming out today, considering that all the journalists are waiting outside of Casa Milan and they're trying to see what's happening. So, yeah, just keep an eye out for that. And this is the group, so hopefully, I think that we are very competitive, and we should be able to perform well in the group. It's a group of death, but it's different than our situation against Liverpool, Atletico Madrid, and Porto a few years ago. This time, there's much more balance, I think. Unless we get robbed by the referees again, I'll say that. But yeah. All right. See you guys. Thank you for watching, and maybe there's more stuff coming out later. So, peace
All
out.
right. Forza Milan.